Hi, dear students. So this is your independent task, track B, where you are asked to map in depth the vulnerabilities of a country. And this task has been inspired by the work that we have been doing in our master's program, Disinformation and Societal Resilience. This is a task that our students of that program are doing. And they have found this to be really useful. So that gives me the courage that you can do it too, and you can find it useful. Whoever is interested in this program, ask me questions about this later, and I can provide you some information. It's an awesome 1-year English language master's. But now on to what you are supposed to do. So, oh yeah, just a little bit of enforcement, how good of a program this is. If you've been in the internet research, if you've been interested in digital capitalism and political sciences, then you probably know the name Zizi Papacharisi, who is this one of the gurus of this field. And she has given us the kind words about this program whilst being a reviewer, a member of the review board who ensures the quality of this program. And look what she said about the program. Enough about that, advertisement moments. So what we have been talking about is that so much of the informational resilience of the digital literacies, media and information literacies, cognitive biases related stuff is happening on the micro level. Like, how are you feeling? How are people responding? How are individuals dealing with the info disorder? And very often we see that the vulnerabilities of specific situations are also on the individual level. I have some screenshots that would prove that. But today I'm asking you for this independent task to think about the societal, the macro level, the biggest level. What makes a country vulnerable? What makes a country resilient to different crises? So let's move on from the micro level. If you're interested in this topic, then you can read around. For example, NATO Stratcom puts out great reports on this and on like very specific things. So go and seek these materials out if you're interested. But your individual task is to choose a country, find lots of information about that country that describes how things are at this country. And then, this is the analytical part, think about what vulnerabilities come with these descriptive facts and empirical stats and so on. So if you were the bad guy who wanted to attack this country, to erode the trust, to make the citizens occupied with, infighting, to make the existing divides and problems even bigger. That's a very common Russian disinfo tactic. And think like that. What could be the vulnerabilities of that specific country? It's an exercise that needs probably your full attention, and you need to get in the flow and really, really think things through. So I advise you to take this seriously, because that could really help us. That could help us as researchers, as citizens, to understand what makes a country vulnerable. And that is unfortunately one of the really, really big tasks that we are facing over the next 10 years at least. You can use any sources that you find. They should be trustworthy though, so don't take a random YouTube video as the basis of your facts, but try to think about different sources that you could use, and I will give you some suggestions as well. You go to Moodle, you download the template where I have different aspects, different nuances, different characteristics about this country. You fill it out. First, the descriptive part, how are things in this country, and then the vulnerabilities. Download the Word file, fill it out, and then post the filled out paper analysis to Moodle forum. So how does this work? Don't choose your own country. That's the important thing here. Choose some country that you have some connection with, that you care about, that you're just interested in. Like, it can be a totally foreign country for you if you want to do this, like fully emerging in this, but don't choose your own country or some country that you're like nearly like home, but try to really learn something new in this task as well. So here is the general table that I have provided for you. So say that you are choosing Romania. Then you should obviously talk about the population, the political landscape right now, what's the media scape like, how are things with media freedom and media literacy indexes, what's the quality of life and, you know, levels of happiness in this society, what could be the important cultural symbols, national identity is built on what, myths and legends and heroes. How about trust in others and what's in the news now? So go and check out their local newspapers, use the Google Translate or other translating software that you might have, or programs or websites, and see what's happening right now. Try to find out about the circling disinfo narratives in that country, in that society. Also, because we are in the EU, attitudes towards European Union, elections, these kind of like superstructures that bind different countries together. Learn about minorities, attitudes, divides, discrimination issues, because that's where the bad actors could get in and make things considerably worse. Also, attitudes towards Russia and Ukraine would be helpful, because that's a very specific topic that we are trying to keep an eye on here in Estonia, being a neighboring country of Russia. And if you find something else that is crucial in your opinion, then additional important thing 1, 2, or whatever. So that's the thing that you have to do for this week. Where to get data, where to get overviews. First, we have amazing overviews from Eurobarometers. They have different topics, latest surveys on, you know, media, trust, consumer habits, whatever. Go there. It's a really valuable resource for your all future endeavors that you might take on. You will get good, fresh data from there and overviews of the countries. You can also play around in the European Social Survey database. It's an open database. You just have to get the knack of it. Like, how does it work? Try to navigate it. There are also instructional videos if you get confused, but what you get out of it is these like pretty graphs that you can use in your homework, in your thesis, in your journalistic things that you write. It's a really valuable source of information, and there is so much to discover. Like, scientists haven't made use of even 1/10 of it. So there is always like these longitudinal things. You can see how things have moved throughout the decades even, and you can see how different countries compare to each other. And it's an awesome data portal and completely open for use to anyone. So if you master that, you're good for like lots and lots of things. Also, you can check out the European Digital Media Observatory Hub's network, EDMO network. And they have specific information about disinformation and the narratives that are circling in European countries and different areas. So there is lots and lots of information for you too. Or you can go to digital news reports. You can go 2024 one is out already as well. You can like check out what's the journalistic landscape of different countries, what are the trends. You can go to World Values Survey that has tried to map down for years and years and years of what do people value. So building on Hofstede's work, trying to understand the different cultures, like how do we operate as societies? Do we value individualistic things or collective things? So you can check out the things here. Also, Edelman Trust Parameter is a really nice overview. Not nice, nice is a wrong word here. It's usually very frightening, but you can see the global report on how do we as members of humanity in different countries deal with trust erosion, deal with these uncertainties that we are doing right now, that we're experiencing right now. And you can go to like Gallup International, you can go to Statista to get mostly about digital platforms. You can go to specific countries. They usually have a statistics page about that country. For example, in Estonia, we have Statistics Estonia. But if you want to do like Iceland or something like this, then you can just Google Statistics Iceland and see what kind of databases do they have. Usually they are doubled into English at some part at least. So you can have the freshest, newest statistics about that country. Or, yeah, here are a couple of examples. Statistics Sweden has a really good overview. And just Google the country and the things that you're interested in. Just like see what's in the news. Be very critical towards the sources, but try to understand the country, even if it's these kinds of referrals to statistics. And of course, Wikipedia. Awesome. Begin with Wikipedia and then move on. So I hope that you will have an adventure and you will be so much smarter, and you will be the one in your friend group who will always be like, well, actually, did you know that in Albania, things are like this or that, or you will have these random facts for some, but probably very useful at one point or another in your career, because these things tend to come back and haunt us in the best way possible. So have fun and take this seriously.